is up, everybody? My name is Dane Thompson. Welcome back to another episode of BurnDown. So this is the Road to Rocky Mountain Race Week 2021 version 1.0 because that's where we are taking the Malibu. I'm trying to make more videos on some of the stuff to get the car ready, on what I'm doing to get the car ready, I should say. We are back with the Radiator. So if you watched the other video, we went down to Champion Cooling Systems. They're really cool. I got a radiator from them. We kind of took a quick tour. We talked to Mike a bit, who was awesome. Well, I went back down after I mounted the thing up and figured everything would fit. And I've got all the pieces and components to put it all together. But I figured it'd be a good video. It should be pretty quick, but I'll show you guys kind of how it comes and then how I assemble these things. Because I figured there's probably a lot of guys that have never had a new radiator. You're just using stock stuff and stock shrouds. Well, this is, if you get something aftermarket, this is kind of the way it goes. Mine's a little bit different for the most part, but to give you an idea, you guys can watch how I do it, and then hopefully it inspires you to get out and then do your own. So, sorry for the tree trimming in the background. Sorry about that. But anyway, so we got our fancy fandangle radiator going on. This is pretty cool because this is actually a coolant level sensor. So if it gets down past that, it's supposed to trip a light. This is for like a 90 vet, I believe it is. And they had the sensor, so instead of welding the bung up, I said, well, just give me that and we'll integrate it at some point in the Malibu, and that'd be pretty slick. This has the ports for the automatic transmission. I have a cooler in the car. We're not going to use those, but I figured I could just block them, and then if it was something I did want to use, I have it available still. And it makes it an off-the-shelf bolt-in deal. So if I need another radiator for any reason, I could just get another one just like this and it would bolt down to my setup. So this is the Champion Cooling Systems radiator that we spec'd for the Malibu. This is the shroud they make for the two 12-inch fans that they gave me, and then typically you would get a relay kit to run these. So we don't have that. I have a relay in the car that will address. I don't think we're gonna get that far today. What I'd really like to do though is mount this up on here, get everything situated in the car, at least mocked up, make sure it fits, everything's good to go with the shroud and everything, because before we just had styrofoam and whatnot. I picked up some really thin, it's rubber gasket material, but this will go basically under here and then on the other mounts on the bottom to go between this steel mount and the aluminum radiator. And then I got my Champion Cooling Systems fancy cap. You got to have that when you're representing. And then I got some plugs for the transmission lines. Technically this doesn't really matter if they're open because it's a whole separate system, but I just wanted to clean it up and keep crud out of there in case I did use it in the future. And then I got a bunch of miscellaneous hardware. It always makes sense to get more than you need when you're doing stuff, but we got some 1/4 20 to mount these dogs, and then some button head Allens to actually bolt these down. So I had some 15 or what are these, 5/16ths, but I wanted the button head because they're a bit cleaner look instead of this. So I was already there, right? No harm, no foul. Anyway, let's get cracking on this. And the first thing I think that we're gonna do is we're gonna figure out how to mount the shroud to the radiator, and then once we kind of get that dialed, we'll figure out how to put the fans on the shroud. And I do it in that order, if you're wondering. You say, well, Dane, why not just put these on and then put that on? Well, it's a lot lighter and less cumbersome. You don't have two fans that you're fighting against moving things around. This piece of aluminum, it's a lot lighter and easier to work with when you don't have fans attached to it. So we get this in place first, and then we can take it back off, and then we'll put the fans where they go, and then we know this thing already bolts down. So all right, we've taken the bubble wrap off. I had the tape on here to protect it. We took it off because we weren't sure if we were gonna mess with any of this stuff over here. We ended up not, but that's okay. So let me show you the arsenal of stuff we're gonna be using. These things are called Clecos. These are 1/8 inch. These are Cleco pliers. If you've never seen these before, they're pretty slick. So what they do is you basically make a hole. It's supposed to, all right, oh geez. Okay, so it expands as it contracts. So see how the little arrow kind of goes away? So if you make an 1/8 inch hole, you put this in when you let go, it'll basically hold two things together. So typically they do, I want to say, like little sheet metal screws, and this edge is, it's minimal, man. I mean, it's not. So this is, I don't know, the point on that thing. So you got maybe 1/4 inch flange on you know, this side and this side. And this is a little larger than what this flange is. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna do some drilling, and we're gonna try to do this in place on top of that. So I don't think there's a top and bottom, so we'll just dry fit this dog on here. So it fits like a glove. Everybody's happy. And then we've got, let's see, so if I just line that up, we got a little bit of overlap. So what I'd like to do is probably just split the difference and give myself the best chance to nail this thing. So about something like that. We got a little overlap, a little here, a little there, a little some. I got some clamps, so let me do this. Let me line it up, square it up, we'll clamp it down, and then we will make a couple dents with this guy. We'll drill some holes with this guy. This is all Harbor Freight friendly stuff, by the way, minus this. These things are rad. They're little double-ended drill bits, 1/8 inch. I use the crud out of these things, and then obviously the clecos. But what we'll do is we'll punch holes and we put clecos in, and that'll hold it in place. So when we drill the next round, everything doesn't wiggle and move around. It'll make life a lot easier. So if you don't have these, I know that you may have these, and if you don't have these, again, Harbor Freight, they're cheap. Everybody's got the universal wrench laying around, at least 1 or 2 of these, and this will grip it and rip it. So just clamp it down, punch a couple holes, and then I'm actually going to rivet this on when it's all said and done. So we'll put several holes and make sure this thing don't go nowhere. Okay, because we're doing a top down now, I got a long 1/8 inch drill bit that'll allow me to get in there and slam all these dogs. So guess you're gonna need one of these guys too, unless you're feeling froggy and you want to do it from the top side. But just be careful, like I said, if you drill into this plate, you're gonna, I believe that's actually, it's just the fins, so you won't be dead in the water, but you don't want to get really low. But anyway, just be careful. All right, so you can see we got a cleco there and one there. So let me finish up this side. We'll do the same on this side, and then we will mount the fans. All right, we got all of those mounted, and then this one's a little off because they got really deep in the corner. So just make a note, you got to try to center it. But that's 1 out of 10. Pretty good odds. Anyways, so that's what that looks like. Now what we could do is we could throw the fans on here, make some little red dots for those guys, punch those holes out. Obviously not on here, I'll show you, because you don't want to get into the radiator, but we can make the dots, take this off, punch holes in it, get the hardware all mounted up for the fans, and then just double check that the hardware doesn't hit any of that stuff. So it's kind of a procedure. It's a lot more than you'd think. You just don't slam it together. Again, I think the kits they give you, I think they give you all the stuff. My instance is just a little special, but yeah, so we'll keep rolling. And again, this is how I do it, so bear with me. All right, we set these on here, and then just take your time. I just eyeballed it really well, but it's a little off the edge. You got the flat spot, so we got a little bit of space here. And if you look down, you can see the edge all the way around. So I just kind of got that as best I could, and then even these guys, we got them all lined up. So I'm happy with this placement, so we'll just go ahead and mark all these. Also, I have these on the bottom, so you know, when this is the bottom portion, this is the top of the radiator, my plugs are going to come out the bottom. If you wanted to come out the top, or however you want to do it, is up to you. I'm just going to keep mine on the bottom, and that's just basically aesthetic. So we'll mark these out, punch some holes, we'll fit some hardware. It's looking good though. All right, I installed one. We did a good job on the holes, so everything fit. We didn't have to enlarge or mess with anything, but I put one on so we could see. I don't know if you guys can see in there. Probably not. It's probably terrible. But anyway, I've got a ton and a half of room before anything's touching. So we're gonna call it good. We'll take the back off like so. Put the other one tentatively on, fit it up again, and then that is pretty well that. So let's put the other one on. See if we did good with the holes on this one too. Watch, this is gonna be the one that it's actually out, right? So I couldn't look good on the one. So that might like this. We got these dudes. Tell the truth. 1, 2. Uh-oh. We did good, boys. All right. So there you go. Those all slid in, no issues. And then again, they're the same depth as these, so you can see they're pretty tight because of the thickness of the plastic and then this, so it doesn't leave much hanging out, which I like. So we are good. So that is good. I'll get some Loctite. We'll wrench all these down, but first obviously we got to peel the old plastic. So we'll take this back off. I'll get my hardware all together. We'll get some Loctite, peel the plastic, put these dogs on here, torque them down, and then hopefully we can get these riveted on here properly. And then that'll be that, man. We'll be looking spicy. All right, we got these all tightened up. If you guys have not seen this, this is pretty slick. Got it at McFadden. It's basically like a glue stick, but it's Loctite. And I like these because they don't really dry out. And it seems more user-friendly. Every time I get the tube stuff, it just seems like it dries out. These are more expensive, but at least I know I'm gonna get to use all of it. I also realized how fashion forward I am today. I didn't put any fancy clothes on for you guys, unfortunately. Like halfway through the episode, I've been out here for a while. I'm like, man, I'm tore up looking. Anyway, got these tightened down. Got some fingerprints all over the nice finish. So that's how you know we're doing really well. And then we'll just grab some rivets. And I think we should be able to rivet this bad boy down. Hopefully we can get the rivet head gun in there. And then that will be it. Other than sticking it in the old Malibu. And then I'll show you what we're gonna do with the top beauty panel piece. And hopefully we can get that wrapped up. I'd like to see it sitting in there all sweet. Bam, and there she is. So we got it riveted down. I think we should have enough room hopefully on those mounts for these guys. I left some extra room. And then I'm not gonna tell you guys that I messed up on the one down here and I had to make a new hole. So we'll just, at least it's on the bottom though, right? That's what I always say. Anyway, we're not gonna tell you guys that, but this thing looks phenomenal. I couldn't be happier with this thing. So let's set it in the boom and then we will figure the top mounting portion out. And I'm getting excited. Oh, we'll put these plugs in real quick too. Ta-da! All right, there it is installed. I still gotta put the little rubber in, but I just wanted to mock it up. Throw a sticker down on it, so when you open the hood, you'll see it. Maybe we'll put Malibu, or we'll put something else down there. But yeah, we went with option A because option B didn't work out. My brake wouldn't bend that thickness of aluminum, so we went with what we got. I'm still gonna wire them up. We'll do that. I think, I don't know if I'm gonna chain them together or wire them individual. They're like 10 amp fans or something. That's a 70 amp relay, so it'll hold both of these at the same time. So we will see. We'll get that far, but I'm excited. It is pretty well in place. A couple more little things, and we will be ready to rock and roll. And then at some point, I will actually hook this up, but not today. We got our little plugs in here as well. So that is it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I think this thing looks amazing. Thank you guys for watching. You guys know what to do. Like, subscribe, share. Till next time, I'm out.